And welcome to another great episode of Cyber Papa's New Battlefield. I am the Cyber Papa, and I am so happy to have you join us. Today, we have an exciting show to talk to Elle about her journey in cybersecurity, how she went from working in the automotive industry to now being a manager of bug bounty programs. So, and again, thank you very much for joining. I am going to bring in my partner in crime, the Cyber Warrior. Hey, Cyber Warrior, how are you doing?
What's going on, man? I'm doing great. It's a great day. It's a Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday. So I'm here as always, joining you on New Battlefields. And we have a great guest today. I got to be honest. Every time we have someone new to the show, whether it's yours
Yeah.
or mine, it's always exciting to hear like their take on the industry and what they went through.
Oh yeah. And the journey that they go, it's just so inspiring to have people come from different parts of the world, different parts of the industry, joining this field and learning. And it just gives so much inspiration to other people there that are saying, well, I work here, but I want to do this. So I think it's going to be a great show today. So without further ado, let's bring Ellie in here.
Hi! How you doing?
Hello, hello. How? Well, I guess you're excited to be here, so this is great.
I'm
So,
excited.
great. So, Ellie, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about you first before we get into your journey. Tell us about you.
I'm pretty much I'm just me. Um, I started my career, I guess, in the automotive industry. I've always loved cars, so I wanted to make money doing it. So I started working at Toyota at the dealer. I worked there for 5 years, worked my way up, and then I transferred to Ford, where I ended my automotive career. Um, I was basically like the top, like the person that you would go to, whether it would be techs or whether it's like service people or whether it's the parts department. I was the go-to person. Um, and then in a little bit before COVID started, I decided to switch careers because I'm always one that I guess I don't like to just continuously do the same things over and over again. And unfortunately, while it was fun and I made a lot of money, um, going into dealers was like the same thing every day. Nothing changed. I mean, there would probably be a new recall, but nothing changed. And I was like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. So a little bit before COVID started, I decided to switch careers into tech. I didn't know what I was doing. I had been familiar with computers all my life, so I figured that it would be an easy career to get into. But I did not know how vast it was.
Yep, yep,
I
exactly.
did not know. I started doing research on different careers I could have in tech, and I started trying to figure out what would make me happy, where I would continue to grow. Of course, I think like 80% of the people that want to come into tech automatically choose like pen testing because it's like the go-to thing.
Yeah.
So of course I was one of those. I want to be a pen tester. But as time passed, I realized it's not really. Some people may not agree with me, but it's not really an entry-level position. And I started talking to people more, different careers, different paths. Um, and I just started making sure that I understood like the fundamentals, try to figure out if I wanted to go the cert route, if I wanted to get a degree, another degree. I currently hold a criminal justice degree. So I didn't really want to go, I didn't want to go back to school again, because like I'm not like, I don't really like school. And I didn't want to go that route. And like coming in from like not knowing anything about how to move up in the industry or how to get my foot in the door, like you read online like, oh, you need a degree or you need all these certs. So hi. Um, so yeah, so I just started just trickling my way in, just figuring out like things to do, like to gain knowledge. So I did eventually. I had a LinkedIn, but I wasn't active because in automotive, like, what do you need LinkedIn for? Like the turnover in my departments was not high. Like you literally died in that department. So it was not. I didn't need it. I had it. I didn't need it. I got a little bit more active on LinkedIn, and out people that were in tech, literally typed in tech and just went with all the hashtags. Started just connecting with people. I didn't really know what to say because I'm like, I don't want to seem crazy. Like, you know, how some people are just looking at you like you know what you're talking about. I'm not gonna give you the time of day. So I did run into those people. Like, I'm not. What do you want? And I'm like, okay, you got that. Like, I'll get more experience and I'll come back to you if you know I need to. So I got my follower, I guess, connection count up. I tried my hardest to talk to people, not just connect with them, because that was like a big thing. I'm like, I'm just hitting connect, and I don't know these people. Like I'm seeing them, and you know that's just it. And I started, I guess, talking to more people. I got on the Twitter space, infamous Twitter. And my life changed forever. I officially stepped over to the dark side. So
it is the dark side. It is the dark side. Yeah.
Twitter's the dark side of the internet, I swear. Forget the dark net and deep web. It's Twitter. Twitter is the dark side.
So tell us, where are you from originally? Where have you been in the world here? So
I was born and raised in Boston, Mass. Whoop whoop.
Oh.
I was born in Leominster. I was an Army brat, so I was born in Massachusetts.
I was born in Boston, Mass. I left home at 17 and went to college in New York. I went to Marmon College in New York. I got, believe it or not, 3 degrees in criminal justice. I have an associate in criminal justice and psychology. I have a bachelor's in criminal justice, and I have a master's in criminal justice.
Well,
so
do you know what college I went to?
No.
UMass Amherst.
Really?
Zoomass.
So apparently you know criminal justice is what you're telling us.
So I wanted to. So this is the background. And my dad was like super pissed when I was like, I don't want to be in criminal justice anymore. I had wanted to be a lawyer originally. I wanted to be a criminal lawyer, and I got into a little bit. I wasn't in trouble, but like just looking at like different situations where people were getting off with murder or crimes that they shouldn't have been getting away with, and lawyers having to lie for them. I'm just like, I'm not a liar. Like, you can tell if I'm lying, like, from a mile away. I cannot lie for people. And I'm sure as hell I'm not going to lie for someone if they killed someone or did something worse. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to, do that anymore. So I told my dad. And my mom was like, dude, do whatever you want. I'm used to you switching your mind about everything. My dad was like,
you do you, boo-boo.
My dad, typical Jamaican guy, lost his crap. Like, you went all to school all these years, you went through all that stuff, and you just decide, wake up one day that you don't want to be a lawyer anymore? I'm like, yeah.
See, and that's the sad part, because I look at it.
So I moved to Georgia, and I was trying to figure out really what I wanted to do. If I just wanted to use my degree to make more money, or if I just wanted to, I don't even know what was going through my mind at that point. I moved to Georgia. I got a job at Target just to be busy. Eventually, I started working for TSA. Believe it or not, I was the person in the pants and the wand and doing all
So
that.
you're one of the people we don't like. One of the people going through that are like, take your spot.
You were the wand. We call them the wand ninjas.
I was that person getting screamed at for taking people's belongings, or yeah. I worked there. It came in my mind at some point that I wanted to go to customs, but I'm like, I don't really know if I want to do that. So one day thank you, Kiki. One day I was just like, yeah, don't want to do this anymore. So I found I think I was on Indeed, and I found a job posting as a receptionist at a car dealer, and at Toyota, and the GM. I eventually got an interview, and the GM. I did my whole spiel. What I went through, like, what I'm really good at customer service, like that's my thing. And he was looking at me the whole time, and I'm looking at him like, okay, I said something wrong. I offended him. I'm not getting this job. And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm not hiring for you. I'm not hiring you for a receptionist. And I'm like, okay. He's like, you're way too all over the place. You will not last a day as a receptionist. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, well, you mentioned that you love cars and you love working on cars and you know what you're doing, you know your crap. Like, why don't I put you back in the shop, like in the shop area? And I'm like, well, I guess I don't really want to like work on cars like 50 hours a week, but he eventually ended up referring me to the parts department. And believe it or not, I know they say tech interviews, they have a crap ton. For the parts department at Toyota, I interviewed 5 times.
God damn!
5 times I interviewed. And the last interview, the 5th one, I told the boss, his name was Eric, sweet guy. He gets on my nerves now. But I told him, I'm like, dude, I'm not coming back. Like, you know everything about me. I can't keep repeating myself. Like, although the dealership was like right up the street from my house at the time, I'm not doing this anymore. It's 5 times. Like, really? So I left. I literally pulled the Elle, got up, and left. And I was walking to my car, and the assistant manager came out running. Ellie. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm not coming back. And he's just like, no. I want to give you the job. Like, you got the job. You just need to be able to pass a drug test and all that crap. And I'm like, it took you 5 times? It's just like, well, technically, we just wanted you to meet everyone and make sure that you could blend with the team. Well, what she really meant was she was an assistant manager, but she didn't really associate with the guys. Like, on the floor, She didn't really associate with the kind of guys, the back kind of guys, the tech. She didn't really do that. She was scared that as a woman, that I wouldn't last with a whole bunch of guys. And I'm like, do you know my dad?
Well, from knowing you, you don't pull off the I'm weak, I can't handle these guys.
I will never be that person.
No, she's the type that puts the guys in their place. That,
and actually, she said something that's going to be our hashtag for tonight. She pulled an Elle. All right. Whoop, whoop. So everybody in the chat, please put pull an Elle. All right. So, all right. So now, what transitioned you over to saying, I want to learn what cyber is? What brought that to your head?
So it kind of goes back to my college days. One, I had always been interested in computers. I always loved them, always loved breaking them. Even the house computer, the one house computer that we had when we were growing up, my mom literally lost it when she came in one day and the computer was all over the floor. And I'm like, I'll fix it. But like, I've always just been interested in computers. But in college, you know how you have to take the core classes that have absolutely nothing to do with what you're trying to do. One of them was IT, and Professor Donovan. I like whizzed through all the topics. I whizzed through the syllabus. I did all that faster than anyone in the class, and like got A's on everything. Like that, every topic, every test, anything that I submitted it early, and I got A's on it. He's like, he pulled me aside at the class one day, and he's like, why are you going for criminal justice? Do you not realize that you will excel in tech? And I'm like, no, typical me. Like, I'm stubborn. Like, if someone tells me I can do something, I'm gonna be like, no, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and then we can go from there.
Question.
So he told me that I could be in tech, and I'm like, no. And then I continued to go with my degree, and then like in 2019, when I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm just like, tech will be the place to go, because you never stop learning. You never know. There's no like top of tech. Like, it just keeps going, regardless of where you come in or how much you think you know. You don't know everything. Like, there's always time and space and air and whatever you want to call it to move up.
So did anybody ever say to you, with your criminal justice, you can go into the computer forensics side of the house?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What did you think of that?
So I thought this was like, I first got, I heard about forensics, I want to say the beginning of 2021. D for Diva popped up on my timeline, and I started going through what, she was doing. I'm like, this is really interesting. But like my mind, like I didn't know what I want. I still didn't know what I wanted. So I was just still trying out everything. And like a lot of people say, like, pick a path in tech and go on it. So like for the past, maybe most of last year, my path has been like AppSec in cloud. So that was my path. And then like forensics like kept like edging at me, like, okay, like you'll be good at it, like you have so that's like I'm between like I haven't really dug into forensics like I want to. Like that's like a goal of mine for the year, but like it's something I'm definitely interested in. Finally interested in, I guess.
Forensics is fun. I've done personal forensics.
Yeah. So my path was, I started out, when we started, it was called InfoSec, Information Security. And we did a lot of certification and accreditation. So all the GRC stuff it wasn't called GRC yet, but it was just called InfoSec. And when I got out of the military, or actually during the time that I was in the military, I did forensics, and it was disk forensics. And we did a lot of that work. I actually did all that work in forensics for the first, say, 10 years of my career that I was in the forensic side of the house, using my criminal justice and my engineering and my forensics work. And that's what I did for a long, long, long time. And the one thing that I tell you, and I tell everybody that's listening, is don't worry about it, because you can start in security in one area, then go to another area, then go to another area. And, in 32 years, I think the only area that I have not done like full time as a job is the pen test side of the house.
Mm-hmm. And see, on the flip side, I haven't done GRC full time. I've done red team, GRC, like pen testing and things like that. And I've been a SIM engineer and consulting on blue teams and phone management. And I'd never worked in forensics, but I've done a lot of forensics on my own, like just dealing with network traffic and disk forensics and, data recovery. But I've never been in GRC. I help develop stuff, but I've never actually been a GRC person. So It's just one of those things.
GRC is like something Kiki actually, Kalila, she has been studying GRC, got a position in GRC, and like before, I didn't even know what it was. I'm like, what? But it's like really interesting. It's like, another, I guess, not too techie part of tech that a lot of people don't know about. And it's like really interesting. I mean, I probably will never go that route. I may get some exposure to it like later on down the line. But like, it's interesting. It may be this is one that's not doesn't want to deal with like the back end of stuff. So
What does
GRC
what
gives you
does
a
your
job.
father do?
My dad is GRC. My dad does GRC for critical infrastructure. And it's funny because I get calls when they're looking for him. They're like, "Oh, have you seen this tool?" And I'm like, "Dude, I've seen every tool out there. Who are you looking for?" And they're like, "Oh, do you work at such and such place?" No, I don't. You got the wrong man. You need my father. Like,
I'm junior. He's senior.
yeah. But I like GRC because GRC is what enables pen tests and blue team and things like that. Without GRC, blue team and red team would struggle even more than they do now to implement security.
It's kind of a central. I mean, for people don't understand how much GRC glues everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Kiki is still watching, but we have a joke that we say that we would not want her to be our GRC person. Mm-mm. She is tough. She is tough. So, and we say that with love.
I love Kiki. I love Kiki.
So now you've taken us through your journey. Now you've found. I'm here. Hashtag GRC. She says. So now you've gone and you've decided that you're going to go in there. What did you do? What did you do? Sorry, she just typed in the chat. I'm going to get beat later. Okay, yeah. So now you've gone from, you've decided that you're going to go and you started studying. So tell us how you went from that to studying to selecting what you wanted to do.
I think some people may agree or disagree with this, but one of the first, I guess, items of advice I was given was to go on Reddit. To go on Reddit and to go to I guess it's like a certification channel or something. I don't remember what it was. But I was told to go on Reddit and figure out, like, certification wise, like they have, like, for CompTIA at least, what different people took to take it and if they thought it was worth it or not. And one of the first things I noticed was like you have these guys and girls on there that were taking like 5 certifications in like 2 months. And like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way.
Only if it's the same underlying concept. So, but like doing a Sec Plus and a GSec, and I don't know. Actually, no, there's nothing else that would equate to those.
So, CYSA.
And I'm just like, you're not. There's no way. Like, at that point, you're just doing it to stack certifications, to put all these certifications next to your name on LinkedIn or on Twitter. Like, that's what you're doing at the end of the day.
But and actually, Kiki and I talked about it in one of the spaces, and we were telling people, saying, all these people that learn for certs, right? They learn to pass the test, but they don't have the skills they don't learn to get to that skill.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree. So, like, one of the guys at work, he's like one of the top dogs, talk every day, but like, he was just like he's super smart. Like, I would go to him for any technical question, like in work, inside of work, outside of work. And he was like, yeah, I took the Pen Test Plus. I passed it with flying colors. But it wasn't like on the job experience. It was just like, I just had to remember a whole bunch of stuff. It wasn't me applying knowledge. It wasn't like a real world environment. I didn't learn anything. So technically, all I need to do is remember a whole bunch of crap and, I'll pass it. So I'm just like, I see that a lot. But then I also see a lot of people that stack certs, they somehow feel or are told that the more certs they have, the more likely you're able to get a job. And the reality is, the more certs you have, the more likely you are to make it possibly through ATS, make it to, I guess, the interview. But the interview is like where you show your skills. Like, yeah, you have the Net Plus, you have the Sec Plus, but tell me a little bit about them. And it's not an ABC conversation. Like, it's not an ABC response, I guess. So, like, that's what a lot of people, like, freeze up. And they're like, oh, I don't know why I didn't get the job. Like, I'm certified. And I'm like, I know people that have been in this field that are very successful that have 0 certs. Like, it is like you have the option to use your certs as a way to get a job, but you're not really going to be, in my opinion, you're not really going to be successful because you have to back it up. So,
and there's 2 things that we always talk. It's not just search, it's not just knowledge, it's also the human skills. Okay? I don't call them soft skills. So you probably will never hear me say soft skills. I call them the human skills. Okay? Because it's how you interact with people. You can be the most technical person, and or this works in the pen test side of the house where we talk a lot. You have to be able to write that report. It doesn't matter if you can, pop a shell here. How did you pop that shell? How did you get through that vulnerability? Those types of things. And in GRC, even more, because you've got to be able to do all your governance piece, all your risk, all the compliance stuff, and explain what are the deficiencies and things of that nature. In Blue Team, you need to be able to explain what is coming in through that firewall, what is the vulnerabilities, what are things. So knowing how to communicate either by written or speech, that is very important. They don't teach that in certs.
Yep.
And they don't. For sure. And I think one of the biggest things about that is right now in cybersecurity, we have a growing number of consulting firms. And in consulting, you have to be able to talk to clients. And unfortunately, in our industry and in our field, we have a lot of people that are very tech savvy, but cannot get their point across verbally or written. And as a pen tester, and to your point, Eric, not only do you have to find all that stuff, you have to be able to discuss how to remediate it. And I think that's what a lot of pen testers and a lot of red teamers are missing is how do you fix this? Because on that report, you could say this is broken and this is how I got in, but they don't know how to fix it now. You have to be able to articulate this is what you do to remediate.
Yeah, and speaking of certificates, there are other courses out there that sometimes I look and I say, this course here is more valuable than this certificate. Just because Ty is here. Ty owns a company called CyberSec Solutions. And he has an amazing course for blue teamers, for SOC analysts, that I would put that against any other cert to hire a person that's gone through his course. And it's not because we're friends. It's not because we know it. It's because it is a solid course that brings people there. So when I look at and when I tell other people about what they need to do in this field is get courses that are hands-on, that are that bring you that knowledge.
And our real life.
And some people are not very good test takers, so.
For sure, I start seeing like the lines start moving and like the pages start moving. I remember for my Net Plus, never taken a CompTIA test before. I thought it was going to be a different testing environment, just put in a room and whatever. Well, the room was like the size of one of my closets. Like it was like the smallest closet. It was literally like the size, and I'm super claustrophobic. And the lady's like, "Hey, yeah, you can't have your phone, you can't have whatever. Here you go." And the whole fear of taking the Net Plus went out the window. It was, I'm sweating. I hate sweating. Like I'm shaking. Like there's no way I'm gonna be able to take this test in this little room. And there was another guy in the room with me taking another test, and I'm just like. like my fear was making sure I read the question, making everything until I saw that room.
Am I taking a test? Am I taking a test or a hearing exam?
It was just like, oh my, yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it was weird because I'm shaking and then sweating the entire test. And like CompTIA, like when you're finished with the test and you click like submit, it doesn't tell you if you passed or failed. It sends you to the stupid survey. So my heart stopped again, and I'm just like, really? And finally, I took a stupid survey, and I found out that I passed. But I guess the craziest part about the whole exam was studying for the Net Plus. I was terrified, like mortified off of every subject on that exam of subnetting. I was losing it. I had reached out to people that on Twitter, on LinkedIn. John Bizzle, he he literally was like, Ellie, okay, you need to stop overthinking it. You got this. Let's schedule a call and we'll go through subnetting. And I'm like, okay. So we went through that. He helped me. I clarified everything, like made everything easier for me. I get to the test, 0 questions about subnetting. I was very upset. I was very close to pulling a Karen and filing a complaint with CompTIA. like that's how mad I was.
No, you
should
had
have for
to
CCNA.
you had to pull an Ellie. You had to pull an Ellie.
So and see, you bring that up, but that's one of the things that we talked about last week on our show was subnetting, and or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, and just the amount of knowledge that like a Cisco CCNA, yes, it's proprietary, but the back end networking knowledge we talked about, that back end networking knowledge was immensely helpful in just everything. And that was before they even got into, hey, this is Cisco proprietary commands and stuff now. It was, these are routing protocols. This is subnetting. This is an IP address, all that stuff.
Yeah. It was definitely a stressful test. I studied for, I get a lot of questions about like my study habits. Like right now I'm studying for the Sec Plus. Hopefully to take it by the end of March. But the one thing that helped me was having an accountability partner. On Reddit, believe it or not, I found a group. I have to find the name of it, but I found a group that introduced me to Discord because they were hosts on Discord, and they had like.
I need to talk to your manager right now.
They were on Discord, and they had like all the CompTIA certifications, different rooms, and it took like a week or two. You put your name in and you put what you were studying for, and they put you in a room with like 10 other people. Of course, all the 10 people aren't gonna freaking study with you because life and whatever, they just forget about it. But it helped me because I had a friend, Ashley, he's in the UK. He was studying for the Net Plus, but he stopped because he ended up getting a job. So we couldn't study together anymore. I got in touch with the group, and I came up with it was a group of 10. Out of the 10, 2 people like helped me study. Like we all studied together, and then we all passed. I think we studied for 2 months, and then like we passed. We studied like a month after it. Like we all like trickled down. I was the last one to take it. I was terrified, but yeah, we all passed. But accountability buddies, to make sure that you're on your crap and that you're not falling behind, it's definitely like a good thing. It will definitely help you. So I would definitely recommend that when it comes to studying for testing.
What do they say? Alone we go fast. Together we go far. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I think that that's a great thing to say to other people is have that accountability partner when you're doing that. Do those group studies because we're always tired at the end of the day from work and this and that, and life gets in the way. But when you have somebody pushing you and saying, hey, let's go study, that really reinforces that, and that helps you. Sometimes you need to pull, sometimes you need to push.
Yeah.
And that's the equivalent of like you see all the time, workout partners, people that go work out. They always have, well, not always, but a lot of times they have someone with them because they push each other. And unless you're doing it at home, that's what happens when you go to the gym. You find someone, your spotter, you're someone to push you. It's the same way in studying and furthering your education and doing things. You need someone to have your back that is going to push you. And at the same time, when they fall, you push them like, no, get your ass out of bed. We're going to go do this right now. And this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Ms. Oven. All right, so we have a question. Okay, so can you give an example on how you all studied together? Like, did you ask each other questions? Did you go through the reading material and discuss what was the process of studying together?
So I will start off with, no one get offended. It was two guys, and I'm super organized, I guess being the woman of the group, and they were just all over the place. So I like, you need to study this week, and at the end of the week, we're gonna go through. We used Professor Mesa and Jason Dion on Udemy. Or Udemy, I don't know how you say it.
Nope.
You get it.
Great way to study.
Yeah, so we had like all the different sections. We broke it down initially. First, how long we were going to take the study and what we needed to do to hit our goal. So at the end of every week, I made a list of everything that we need to study. At the end of every week, they have like practice tests. So I bought the course, I bought the practice test, and then we shared I shared my screen. We used Discord, and then we just took the practice test together. Whether it was the whole test, whether it was half the test, because we were on different sides of the freaking planet, so we had to figure out something with time. So that's what we did every week. And then all the questions that we got wrong, I would formulate something else, and like for the following week on top of our studies to make sure like, this is what you need to work on. This is what we struggled with. Usually it wasn't, because what I liked the most about it, having a study group, was you had different types of knowledge. Like you have someone that may not be experienced, you have someone that may have experience, and you have a whiz that's, hey, well, to remember this, you can do this. And that's what I felt helped me remember a lot of stuff and to be able to apply it to whether I was doing Hack the Box or whether I was doing Try Hack Me or whether I was doing my own thing on the side, like help me remember things like that. So that was very helpful. But definitely like keeping like a schedule and like keeping it, not just, I'm gonna do it, but like every day at this time we're studying, or if we had like jobs or if we had like different things we had to do, just make sure we had like at least, I think it was like 4 study sessions a week minimum. And then we would try to study every day besides Sunday. So it helped me. So,
all right, we got another question for you. Is it Udemy or Udemy? Okay, let's go.
I say it's Udemy. Udemy.
I have no idea, but I do know there was like a moment, like I want to say 2021 last year, where like there were like courses like that were given out like free every day.
Yeah.
And I just kept, this is interesting. Like cha-ching, like they're free. So I'm just adding them to my queue. Well, I logged in, I think like a week or two ago, and I think it was 13 pages of courses. I'm just like, wow, I really went to town, didn't I?
If you look at my Udemy, I have like 13, 14 pages of courses that are all either half completed, not started.
I don't even go on Udemy. It's so great, and I know it has a lot to offer, but I just don't go on it. I'm just like, I know I don't have the time. I know I don't have the time to do it.
Okay, I got to put this on the screen.
Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
Yeah. And everybody's saying the same thing. Okay, so that brings up this next question. So now that you've gone through these courses and now you're studying for your Sec Plus, what other things do you do other than Udemy, and studying for these courses? What other areas how do you keep yourself fresh in learning and continuing to look at things? Tell us about that.
To be very honest with you, I'm nosy. Like at work,
No.
like I have the opportunity. So
Lies.
some people like when you log into any crowdsourced bug bounty program, you see like the program, you see like whatever users are supposed to see. I have the opportunity to look at the submissions, look at things that were accepted or declined. I have the opportunity to see like the conversations between the researchers and my team. I have the opportunity to see all that. So when I have when I have the time, which is like, I mean, it's part of my job. So I can't even say when I have the time.
Okay, well, let's stop for a second. Stop for a second because you jumped to tell us what is it that you are doing now, and you got a job just recently.
Yeah.
And tell us what it is.
I could say it's difficult for me to tell you what I am because me being me, I can't just sit in one place. I do everything at my job. I have been in contact with each and every one of the departments to figure out what they do and figure out processes of how we.
What's your title?
My title is I'm a technical customer success. I guess you could say manager, but I'm over the programs. I do all the legwork. I do all the nasty work that people don't want to talk about.
And what are these programs?
What do you mean? Like bug bounty programs?
There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you are a technical manager working with bug bounty programs.
I am.
Okay, everybody, let's go. Congratulations for her on the chat. Okay. So I was very excited when I heard you called me and you said that you were doing the bug bounty programs, and I was just, you remember what I started screaming. So
yeah.
So now that you've been doing this, and now you're doing bug bounty programs, and you are nosy and see that stuff. So continue what you were saying about, what is it that you keep yourself fresh, and now you're seeing these things. What do you do with them?
So I basically I stalk. I don't want to say I stalk the researchers because I don't want to say that. But like I stalk their submissions. I guess you can say that. I stalk their submissions and I figure out like, what was accepted. If something wasn't accepted, why wasn't it? And they give the opportunity, like my team gives the opportunity for a researcher to clarify on their submission, to actually get money for whatever vulnerability they submitted. So I'm very like detailed when it comes to that. And I'm not a pro at AppSec yet, but I've gotten really acclimated with like application security. And I eventually just wrote a blog about it because like people saw what I was doing, and I had, I tweet about it every now and then. But I wrote a blog about it because I got so many, not saying I don't want to talk to anyone because I love talking to people. I love trying to help people. But like, I would much rather like write a blog. Like, okay, what's OWASP? Like, is it a bug? Like, well, so I eventually wrote a blog on it. Because at the end of the day, like, that's my thing. Like, I want to learn for myself, but I also want to help other people. Whether you're coming in AppSec, cloud, whatever you want to do, I want to help you as a noob to make sure you're not being led astray by pros, or you're not being led in the wrong direction, so you don't feel like you're doing all this work for no reason. So that's what I do. I'm nosy. I am digging into AppSec. Yeah.
Well, it's great that you say AppSec, because even though there's so many different fields there's so many career jobs in the cybersecurity field, AppSec is one that people don't gravitate to, but we've got some really good people in here. Davin Jackson, and we've got Alyssa Miller, and just all these folks that are doing this AppSec. And it's very important. We just had the Log4j stuff and all these different vulnerabilities that are popping up. It's a very important field. So what are things that you would recommend somebody that wants to get into AppSec to start learning?
Well, the first thing I would recommend to anybody is to stop and like do your research on people that are in application security, to figure out what they do, and then reach out to them. Don't just connect with them or blindly, I guess you can say, connect with them. Um, Reach out to them, see if you can talk to them, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on Twitter. Just schedule some time with them. More than likely they'll like schedule some time with Zoom so you can like talk to them, just to get a feel of what they do, because everyone's path is different. My path isn't going to be what someone else does. Like, you never know where every different things work for different people. So yeah, I would definitely connect with people in the field and talk to them. Don't just connect and just leave it and hope for the best. Like, definitely connect with people. Definitely do your own research, like on your own. Like, just Google AppSec. Go to Twitter. Just do AppSec. It's there. Like,
I don't do AppSec. I'll be the first one to admit it. We hire people. I've got people on the blue team that do that for me. Uh, but your point is valid, right? I'll be the first one to admit I blindly connect to people. When I was getting out of the Army, I would literally send connection requests to every CISO, security director, hiring manager, everybody that was out there. And then, but here's the difference. If I was applying for a job or looked at the organization and liked it, I would then reach out and talk to that person. Otherwise, it was more a blanket, I just want to see if you'll connect so then you can see what I post. Like that's legitimately what it was. Because then if you wanted to offer me a job or talk to me, then you would reach out.
So
But
what's a good way? What's a good way to network through social media, through Twitter, through? Tell us how you did it.
so Twitter's like a whole different ball game. I can't compare Twitter to LinkedIn. I will not.
no,
I won't. It's like I said, the dark side. Like, you're not coming out the same.
the Jedi versus the Sith, is that what you're saying? It is the Jedi
LinkedIn.
versus the Sith. We have cookies on the dark side. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got cookies.
LinkedIn, on the other hand, is a little bit more professional. What I would do, like I said, research people that are in whatever field that you choose or you want to be in. Don't just send a request. LinkedIn has that little option where you can put like connect with message or something. Do that, because anyone you talk to will say that I get hundreds of requests a day. I'm not gonna, if I see like someone that actually put a message like, hey, my name is such and such, I'm trying to connect to expand my network, or I'm new to cyber, or whatever career you're choosing, they're more than likely they're going to accept you because you put in that extra work. You're standing out from everyone else that's just pressing connect. So it's like, yeah, so definitely connect with people. Once you connect with people, they accept you. Reach out to them like, hey, like, I want to get into whatever I want to get into. Can you give me some advice? Could you schedule a call, or, whatever? You're going to get some people that are going to be like, yeah, no, not wasting my time. You're going to get some people that are going to be like, yeah, I get it. Coming in as a noob, it's difficult. It's all over the place. It's a freaking jungle, literally. But there are people willing to help you. I can't even lie. Like, when I first started researching tech and people in tech, I ran into I didn't know anything about LinkedIn. I don't have a Facebook, so everyone kept telling me it was comparable to Facebook but professional. I'm just I don't even know what that means. But I started posting I saw I don't want to say depressing posts about people not getting jobs or getting rejected. So me being me, I love to see people happy. And I started posting motivational quotes. I don't have any, all I know is cars. All I know is car parts. I don't know what else to post. So I'm going to post motivational quotes on top of connecting with people in cyber. This girl messaged me who was really sweet up until that point. And she's like, I'm unfriending you. And I'm like, why? It's just like, well, you know, LinkedIn is really professional, and I don't think it's for motivational quotes. And I'm like,
Can I see the LinkedIn manager, please?
Look, and it's funny you say that, Elle, because I see stuff all the time of like LinkedIn is not
Yeah.
Facebook, LinkedIn is not Twitter, LinkedIn is not this, that, or the third. Look, as long as you are not going out of your way to be a jackass, then motivation is professional because we need motivation to get through our day, our week, or whatever. Hence, Motivation Mondays.
yeah,
But you
What's
need
that?
you need those type of things. So I don't understand why people get aggravated by things like that. Though I do understand, like maybe someone doesn't want to follow, and we're going to bring this back to Twitter because we see it a lot on there. Maybe someone doesn't want to follow a shit poster. All right, I got you. Makes sense. But maybe they have valid cybersecurity stuff to put out. And I just talked about this at work. You have to filter through. You've got to be able to realize that sometimes you're going to see that to get to the good security content.
That's life. That's life.
It
You
is.
gotta filter. What is that they say? You gotta kiss a couple frogs.
yeah. And
But that's yeah.
it's not even that. Like Alyssa posted, she's a sweetheart. I love her so much. She posted like a tweet the other day about someone saying that they're unfollowing her because they only followed her for what do you call it? Infosec stuff, and she's like posting all the stuff like not related. Like she's a human. Like we're all human. Like Twitter isn't just gonna be straight hack this, F12. Like it's not gonna be all that.
F12.
Like we're all human. We want to post food. We want to post cute memes. We want to post crap that has nothing to do with tech. Like our lives does not revolve around tech all the time.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's just
And-
weird. Like, do you expect
that's
us
part
to be
of-
robots?
And that's part of that human skills thing is we need to balance. And that's one of the things that, I see a change in the field from when I started, where people would sleep in their offices. Okay, because that's what InfoSec was all about and CyberSec was all about. And now people are starting to come to that middle ground. You've got people like David Kennedy, where he does a lot of that, hack your health stuff. He's a great cybersecurity resource, but his Twitter is all about health and working out and things of that nature.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, so we all have different things. I post about hockey, ice hockey. Yes, a Puerto Rican that likes ice hockey. Don't judge me.
I'm judging you. I'm
Don't
judging
judge.
you.
Don't judge. Okay, but it's all about a balance. It's all about a balance, and we have to all balance, or else we're all gonna go nutty cuckoo.
Yep.
Okay,
Burnout prevention. Burnout prevention. That's what people don't understand.
and that's why we do this show. So we're coming up to the top of the hour here. Now, one of the things that I wanted to end with is what do you like to do to bring up those noobs, to mentor other people, to support the next generation of people that are coming in?
Like as far as like me, like when
Yeah,
people
you.
like message me to like get advice, I always tell them like I don't tell them my whole story, but I tell them that definitely networking was a big reason why I got my job. I didn't get my job because I had certs. Like at all. I got my job because I networked and I talked to people and I literally busted my behind to just literally connect like on a human level with people. But I would definitely say whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on LinkedIn, definitely like connect with people that are in your field. Now, you're going to have some trial and error. Just because you connect with people doesn't necessarily mean it's who you need to follow. Like, I mean, I'm not mentioning it, but there's some people that just, I guess, are clout chasers and they don't really know what they're talking about. They can't help you. There are a lot of people that get into tech that just see people making 6-7 figures and they want that, but they don't want like what it took to get there. Like they don't know these people's stories, what the struggles that they went through. So I would definitely say, definitely talk to people. Definitely understand that it is not easy, especially in coming days. There are 500,000, I think the list got released. It was like 500, 600,000 maybe open jobs, but they're not getting filled. Just because it's that many jobs doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be easy for you to get a job. It's a struggle for so many people. It was a struggle for me to get a job. I had to bust my behind to get my job. So just understand that the process isn't easy and not to give up. Definitely reach out to people. Definitely have a support system. I would not be where I am right now if I didn't have a support system. Like on Twitter, like I found a wonderful Lego group. Adrian, Nicole, everyone, like I love you guys. They're like my family. Like that's like my escape from my my I guess crazy tech life. Like, but they're also like a support. Like if I'm struggling at work or if I'm just going through something with my life, like them, tech chicks, like cyber agents, like I'm part of like a few groups that actually give a crap about what I'm doing.
Lies. No one cares about us. Lie.
Love you.
No, but you're right. Tech chicks and Lego groups and things like that, they all care, and that's the important thing. And we've talked about that before. I know I've talked about it, especially like you said, people hate motivation, but on
Yeah.
Motivation Mondays, is
You
surrounding
need it.
yourself with positivity,
Uh-huh.
surrounding yourself with
Yeah.
people that will lift you up. Because yes, we have those points where we're down and out, where we're talking bad about ourselves, but having that positivity to say, look, you can do this. You belong. Ask Eric. I tagged him in a post today with a gentleman who's in college. And he's like, oh, I don't, I'm not part of it. No, you're part of the community. You
Yep.
want to learn this. You want to get into it. You're just in college. I don't care if you're going for certs. You are one of us now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the suck. It's the way it is. And so, yeah, I think having those people that's going to help you out and lift you up is very, very important.
That's
Definitely agree. I mean, we all have our points, whether you're a noob, whether you've been in this industry for 30, 40, 50 million years. Like, you always need that support, whether it's from family, whether it's from tech family, from Twitter or LinkedIn, whatever. You always need that support. Like, you cannot do this alone. It is too stressful. Log4j, everyone was leaning on everybody.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Everybody
I was
was.
crying
But you
in
know
a
what's
corner, crying.
it's sad because I saw more of a response from Log4j as a consultant than I did from SolarWinds and everything else. And we're talking. I've been around now. I've been watching IR for a while. I've done all sorts of industries,
NCIS doesn't count. Okay.
and Log4j was literally the most top of the line. Like we need to respond now. Now I'm gonna work 30 hours over the weekend to do this now. Like what? Like hold up. We just had SolarWinds and all this other stuff, and you're gonna flip your lid over Log4j. All right, cool. Like good to know.
Thankfully, you didn't live through the shell shock and all that
I
triad
did.
of
Oh
stuff.
my god, that was bad. But I'm telling you, Log4j was the most like we've been
Yeah.
breached. When you haven't been breached, it was
Yeah.
the most incident response, enact the playbook. We've got to run, 36,
Run for
48
them.
hours straight.
So, all right. So again, thank you very much. I'm going to let you say some words of wisdoms before we let you go for the night. So,
Let me see.
words. Okay, hold on. Let me put you on the big screen there. Hold on. One more thing. All right. So now you got to pull an Ellie. Let's go.
Words of wisdom. Like, never doubt yourself. Understand that although this community, this family can be brutal at times, we're always here for you, and we're always here to give that support because we've been there. Like, we've been struggling, we've been looking for jobs, we've been questioning why things are the way they are, but we're always here to help. Understand that it's okay to ask questions, it's okay to Google things. There are so many people out there. I would say Tech Chicks, Republic of Hackers, CyberAges, like there's so many groups out there meant to help you. Just do a little bit of research, do a little bit of just connecting with people, and you'll go really far. If you think that you can do this by yourself, try it. By all means, do it, try it. But I don't think that you'd be able to get very far very quick. So yeah, always ask. My inboxes are always open. They're always flooded. LinkedIn, Twitter. I literally cleared out my responses from, I think it was December. No, I take it back. It was like November. I went through LinkedIn and I responded to everyone because I do care about each and every one of you guys and girls. So like, definitely reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm always here. If you need support, if you need a laugh, you know, I come bearing a whole bunch of llamas. So like,
I love your llamas. Yeah. I love your llamas.
And just so that if anybody needs the contact information for Ellie is on the description of this show. So again, thank you very, very much for being here, everybody. Please, thank you very much for being here in the show. Please leave a like, subscribe, share this thing, and
like it.
What I want everybody to do is once the show is over, come back and put a comment in the bottom here of the show and tell us what you like there. Now, another thing is next week in this show, because you mentioned them, the Republic of Hackers are going to be here on this show. Okay, and if you look in one of our shows here, TechSec Chicks was also here, so watch that show as well.
Great.
Go ahead.
Guys. Join.
Definitely. All right, well, thank you very much. And with that, Cyber Warrior, what do we have going on tomorrow?
So tomorrow I have Carolina, I always forget how to pronounce her name, but Dork Phoenix on Twitter, and she's going to fillet me tomorrow. We're talking ethics and IT and security sales. So she does a lot of good things working for Cisco. She's an amazing person. So we got her coming tomorrow. And also, look, check it out. Eric just hit 1,000 subscribers. I just hit 2,000. Let's keep those numbers going up. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And if you can support any of your fellow content creators, whether it's Eric or myself, please do so. All that financial help really helps, especially with getting studios better, cameras better, lighting better, all that stuff. It's all very, very important to us and helps us provide content for you guys. Like Eric said, come back after we're done. Leave a comment down below, because the more you comment, the more you like, the more you share, the more you subscribe, the more other people get to see this.
All right, everybody, see you mañana. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Later.